Let's now take you back to Stilfontein, where the government-sanctioned retrieval operation is on its third day in the northwest. So far, more than 60 bodies have been hoisted out of shaft 11 of the disused mine. By 10 p.m. last night, over 130 mostly frail zamas had been brought to the surface alive. My colleague Naledi Moleo is on the ground and now joins us again. Naledi, once again, a very good morning. Since the start of the operation for day 3, has there been any movement in terms of the number of illegal miners being brought to the surface, or even bodies for that matter?
Well, not at this moment. Once again, a good morning to you, Aldrin, and to our viewers. So we will be heading back to shaft 11 in just a moment. Perhaps in the next hour, we'll be able to give you an update. But I thought, let's come to Kuma, which is essentially the community right next to Stilfontein, and that mine that has got us talking for months on end. This community highly impacted. A lot of the people in this community are those that do go to Stilfontein and make their way there in support or wanting to see really the retrieval of some of those zamas at the mine. But I thought it's an interesting thing to talk about because certainly as you look at the streets of Kuma, a calm community, and of course as the school starts, one reflects on how this is a community where even as we stand here, we've been seeing young ones going to their very first day of school, and one wonders just the rumblings in the community around what is happening in that shaft 11 where there has been so much talk. 60 bodies, as you said, having been retrieved from Monday up until this point, and 132 miners that have been brought to the surface. We're hoping to speak to some of the community leaders. But yesterday, we were here at Kuma and we spoke as well to some of the elders of the community, those that worked the Stilfontein mining company for many years, from the 80s up until the early 2000s, when that mine essentially shut down. And I say that with inverted commas. And a lot of them losing their jobs. And what you hear from some of those elders is that they became unable to feed their families. But there was a clear understanding still within the community from some of these elders that there was still a lot of minerals to be mined in that area. A lot of them saying that, well, if there is what they've called food underground, that people in the community will also want to see that food being mined. Just, I suppose, an analogy that was made there by one of the elders. So as Kuma reflects on this day, perhaps a different atmosphere to what the country is doing as they look at Stilfontein. For this community, it is very much a part of the everyday experience and the everyday livelihood, and life continuing as those numbers continue to come in and shock and awe this community in the northwest.